Welcome, welcome, welcome to Tier 3 Apollo Racing. This is Brazil. I'm here
Nuts.
with Gore, W. Gore.
That is me. He is I. We have a wet qualifying all the way through. It should not change. It should be intermediates the entire time. So they'll have three sets of tires to set three laps on. Although I'm sure a lot of people, if they know what they're doing, will run some higher fuel and go out there and just do a few laps, get a feel for the track, and then really do the high fuel or the low fuel runs towards the end. That's just a good way to kind of build your confidence with the grip is to run out with maybe like 6 laps of fuel, do 2, 3 laps, then come back in and do your 2 laps low fuel. And then we have a somewhat wet race. So the interesting thing about this is we have in the third time slot for weather, we have light rain. Before that should just be light cloud and overcast. And be, because of the wet qualifying, they will get to choose their tires. So you don't have to, qualify in the mediums and sacrifice your grid position. We could see, or we will see, like everybody in the top 10 starting on the mediums, maybe even the hards if they're worried about the mediums lasting and they want to really not make that stop. I think you would actually lose 20 seconds on the hard tires versus the mediums and the softs, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Only time will tell.
Well, my sim hub is being the worst right now. Stand by. Alright, it's open. Let's see if these widgets will work. Hey, there we go. Alright, we are currently following Cricket Sushi, formerly the artist, formerly known as Bacon Sushi. Yeah, these intermediate conditions, not my absolute favorite, personally. I
They are mine.
I lose so much time, whatever the ways are. I mean, in my opinion, maybe Formula One cars shouldn't be racing in the water, but whatever. They're not road cars. They're not made for water.
Um,
I mean, it would make it
fast,
it would make it very
be
difficult
cool.
to have races around the world if they didn't. Um, and it's fine. I just
Oh my
hate
god!
doing it, so I'm just gonna be a pain in the ass.
If they canceled the races, if it's like sprinkled, oh come on. I do think we'll see some interesting racing here, especially strategy. Maybe the hards will work. Maybe some people will go for the softs and try to get the positions. It is not hard to overtake here, but it's not necessarily easy. Cricket Sushi crossed the line with a 119. He was telling me in a tier 3 chat that he was able to do a 117.6. So maybe he has a lot of fuel on right now, or that track is a little bit too wet right now. Obviously, as they do it, the line will dry out time-based, not actually lap-based. And Refrax coming in with a 118.3 in the Williams. It'll be really interesting to see this grid. I'm a terrible qualifier, but in the rain, I was able to get up there and beat Rogue's times a little bit back in tier 1. So, we could see a very, very bizarre grid that we would not be expecting normally in the rain, which will be nice. So, see that we got Trash Panda, yeah, up into second position with a 118.3 Rad, right where he normally is in third position. That's seems to be his comfort zone. It's like Chipsy last tier 2 season when he would be in was it third or was it fourth? I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. For Chipsy, there was like 5 races in a row where he finished in the exact same position. I think it was either third or fourth.
Chipsy's pace has been incredible, but we're not here to talk about Chipsy. He doesn't need the ego boost. Oh. Maybe if he stopped running into me, we'd talk about him more.
We've got Atmosphere and Cricket Sushi. If you'll
SoCal remember 117.8. Sorry.
Nice. No, that's a great lap from him. Yeah,
basically.
the AlphaTauri's locking out the front row. Oh my!
Who are we following? Who are we with?
I was on board with Cricket Sushi and he almost just went straight into the wall. But yeah, we have the two Haas's in these wet conditions. They made the right call for Inters. I don't know if our viewers will recall 2 races ago in Spa. They went on to the Inters a lap early and it paid off, but then both of them were involved in incidents which compromised their strategy and subsequently really ended their chance at a podium. But it looked like one of them could have gotten it. Can they make that redemption in the wet weather here? I know they've both been doing a lot of practice. I know Refrax has been doing a lot of practice. I know Evie has been doing a lot of practice. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Peach just jumped up to 8th position with a 1:19.3. Not a bad lap from him, but I'd be surprised if he couldn't do better. I believe the first race I did with him was in the wet, and he seemed pretty quick in the wet. So let's see what he's able to do. Rad on provisional pole by 1/9,000th of a second with a 1:17.779.
On board with Gauzy. He's coming through the last corner. He is on an invalid lap, but he's passing a new driver we have, Eric 1450, is reserved for this last race. And hopefully he'll be sticking with us and joining us for next season. We're short one driver with double A. He had an emergency come up, so he will not be here this evening. But yeah, definitely going to see some differences in pace from what we're normally used to, I think. And most of the drivers are pretty good. I don't know, like, I'm pretty decent in the dry. It's just when we get into these kind of conditions, it just, I don't know, I can't get the power down. I just can't get any traction. I don't know what it is. Maybe my shifting's all wrong or my setup. I have no idea, but...
yeah, I usually use dry setups anyways.
I make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, no, yeah. Everybody likes different things. But yeah.
A 1:17.7 from these guys, not too bad. We should expect to see about 10 seconds or so difference in times, plus or minus whatever. So they're not too far off the pace here. Their biggest benefit, like you were saying before, what tires are you going to start on? They get fresh tires. If it's me, I'm starting on mediums. I can make the mediums last at least 25 to 30 laps. Those last 5 laps would be a little uncomfortable. This being a 36-lap race,
yeah.
When is the rain going to come? So do you stick with the normal strategy, assuming everyone else is going to? Do you, like you said, do you go on the hards and just know that they're going to make it no matter what? Because the rain will come. They will probably have to switch over.
Yeah. No, that's an excellent question. I think soft medium would be unequivocally the worst choice. Yeah, I was riding on board with him as he crossed the line. He's now on provisional pole with 9 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the session. Yeah, I think soft medium is going to be the worst. I think medium soft would probably... You know what? I think medium soft is going to be the way to go. Because you're on those mediums, and if you can stretch it to the rain, if it does rain early, you avoid a pit stop. Otherwise, yeah, taking your pit stop later and being on fresh softs versus pretty decently worn mediums, if you did soft medium, in that changeover period is just going to be that much more comfortable. It's going to be that much faster, and I think people who do the medium to soft versus the soft medium will succeed a lot more. Chewy. I'd be surprised if anybody does soft medium, but we'll see.
Chewy normally, I don't know, has Chewy been near the top? He's up in the 4th now.
He's been up in the top 5 before, I think.
Top 5,
but yeah,
separated by
we've got a Noah's Ark.
3/10 of a second here.
We've got 1-2 Racing Point, 3-4 Williams, 5-6 AlphaTauri. Gauzy going to cross the line again now. We'll see if he improves on his lap. He does, and sets it to a 1:17.188. That is why you overfuel your car, even if it is just 4 laps or something. To be able to do 2 laps in a row and really not have to go back into it's a luxury you can't really afford in a normal qualifying because you are that much slower with 2 extra laps of fuel. But in a wet qualifying where the weight isn't that important when you're still in the ballpark of low fuel, just not having to forget, just knowing, okay, I made this mistake on this corner before, and you only have to remember it for a minute, and then you make the correction versus going back into the pits, taking 3-4 minutes and then trying to remember exactly what you did wrong. So it's all about building confidence.
Trash Panda going a little wide in the final kink, not trusting the car and not getting in nice and tight to that line. Invalidates that lap, which would assume would have been a slightly better one. So he has now got to continue onto a new lap. One of the Racing Points coming across the line. That's Rad starting his next hot lap. And it looks like Atmosphere is starting another lap. And this should be Gauzy coming around for the pits, hopefully.
Yeah, let's ride on board with Atmosphere here and see what he does. And let's see, I'm curious about how many of these drivers will be taking wet lines. Just where in the dry you can keep a lot of these corners nice and tight, and in the wet it's actually better for your traction. You get a little bit more speed to run out wide, a la Max Verstappen 2016 on this track exactly.
Yeah,
those same principles somewhat apply
You,
But
you don't
that's
really
right.
want a whole lot of steering input in the wet.
No. Yeah, the less you demand from the tires, the better. And that being said, that is so some of those tenets definitely apply to real life, but of course, in real life, a lot of the reason they stay off the normal racing line is because that is where the most rubber is. And when the rain falls, that rubber becomes more slippery than more of the unused track, the dirty side of the track. So that's what the drivers will often favor. Atmosphere running a little bit too late on the brakes there, and that's gonna really hurt him. Is now that exit really compromises you along the straight. Oh,
Oh,
and he turns in late and
it's a little
loses it just a
loose.
little bit. Yeah, but is able to save it.
Gonna dump into the pits here and abandon that lap. All of these guys have to remember that if they use up all of their intermediate tires here in qualifying, they will have to start on used intermediates, but, you know, it's probably not going to be too bad if you only do a lap or two in qualifying. Not start on. Did I say start on? When they switch over, they'll have to be on whatever tires they have available, and if they use them all, that is just going to be slightly worse for them. Refrax, still trying to push hard, even though he's secured the championship. So he's not out for a Sunday cruise. I apologize if my level of enthusiasm is slightly low today. I'm a bit under the weather.
There it is.
Refrax coming up to the sector 3 line. Let's see what his he is 1 second up on his previous 1.1 up on his previous time, which would put him at 1:17.2, so just around Gauzy's time. Let's see if he can make any more time out here on the final stretch. I'm gonna keep this nice and tight. He does pull it out a little wider.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Refrax going fastest. Impressive by Refrax. Let's see though, Gauzy getting a nice toe down this back straight by Quirk. Not huge, but well, that's just upsetting. This is actually going to compromise him quite a bit then, I would have to assume, as, yeah, look at Quirk just stamping on the brakes nice and early. And this is compromising Gauzy so far. Looks like he had to lift off just a little bit there. And here we go. Yeah, I think if I were Gauzy, you should have abandoned this lap and just save your tires a little bit, because I can't imagine you're not going to have to let off because of Quirk at some point in this lap.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what he's doing, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have backed off before he even got to the straight. He should have seen that Quirk was on an out lap.
Maybe he thought that Quirk was on a hot lap. Who knows? But Refrax setting a 1:17.0. It is tricky in the wet because of what I was saying too. With a lot of people, they do run extra fuel and just do a few laps in a row. It's pretty hard to judge. But with 4 minutes left, yeah, they should be running minimum fuel and just really trying to put in the fastest lap. Another interesting, I don't know if it's a paradox or whatever you want to call it with the wet, what I've noticed in qualifying is it's actually easier to drive in the wet with more fuel. You are faster, but it's more of a confidence thing. You know, the car is slipping and sliding a lot more when you have low fuel versus if you're running that race fuel, you know, because you take it a lot easier. Maybe, I don't know if it's because the time of your lap doesn't matter as much, just trying to stick with the cars around you, but just feels like the more, oh, Gauzy almost losing it there on the straight to start his lap, but we'll ride on board with him as he looks like the most logical next contender to take provisional pole away from his teammate Radical with a 1:16.6. That's going to mean Gauzy has to improve by about 4 or 5 tenths. We'll see there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. That's going to be Quirk 50, who is off the racing line and giving way. Good job from him to get out of the way without impeding Gauzy after he set his time, which unfortunately was only good enough for 16th for the 1:20.0. Let's see if he has any more pace in him. Still got time for another lap, but Gauzy going through Mar-a-Lago now is going to go up the hill here. And this is a really tricky turn in the wet because you want to carry your speed, but your rear end will slip right about here if you keep that power down, and he's doing a great job of just nursing the throttle through. Probably courtesy of traction control. Hate to say it. Sorry about it, Gauzy. But now through here, this is a really tricky turn. Yeah, just the fact that he's in second and third gear. Those are a little bit too low for that one if he wasn't using TC in the wet. But that's okay. Assists are more than welcome here. And yeah. So here we see him. Interesting. I noticed Atmosphere and a few other drivers were dipping the wheel, that right front, or I guess right rear as well, out onto that AstroTurf. He opts not to take that wider line through that corner, and I'm not sure if that's actually going to cost him time in the wet, or it might actually be faster to stick on the racing line I'm really not sure, but he's going to come across the line here and does not improve. So maybe he's doing another lap now.
Yeah, coming in that last corner, he was already 6/10 over his time, so he probably already knew that anyhow.
Yeah, really keeping his foot down there through turn 3. As you could see him, yeah. And I don't think, yeah, Refrax is exiting, so Refrax will have another chance at pole position. Rad is still in his pit box, and I don't think he's going to be able to get out in time to set a lap in the wet. We'll see though. He could cut a lot of corners. I'm not sure though, but it wouldn't be comfortable, that's for sure. Drakenwolf, I believe, is on a lap here. I might be mistaken. He might be on an out lap. I don't think so. No?
He's currently on an invalidated lap, coming around
Okay.
to the start finish to start another one.
Got it.
Yeah, lots of drivers setting invalid laps here, so we should. Well, we kind of expect to see. Go ahead.
Sorry, no. Rad is leaving the pits now, so he's going to try one more time for pole, but he's only got 1 minute and 3 seconds to go from the pit exit here all the way around the track, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that. But I could be wrong. I hope he impresses me. Refrax backing off here in the last corner. Let's ride on board with him, Righteous, to watch and see if he can go from third up on and take away provisional pole from Rad. Is 43 seconds left in the session. This will have to be his last lap as he comes up. Okay, goes into the grass a little bit there, but now as he's about to cross the line and start his lap here in the wet in Brazil. Does not use any of the grass. Accidentally does a little bit late. That's a technique for more in the dry. I wouldn't recommend it in the wet, so yeah, makes sense he didn't use it. Looks like he might have lost a little bit of time through turn 1. Does actually run out wide here, whereas most drivers were keeping a tight line and kind of powering down out wide. He stays out wide the whole time, and I'm not sure, again, if that is the optimal line through there. It very well might be. But yeah, with 6 seconds left, yeah, Rad is just going to miss the line, I think. That is heartbreaking. Yeah, he does.
He's just around the last turn.
Yeah. So Refrax there. Yeah, he does lose the rear a little bit. That's what I was talking about in that area. It is super tough to carry speed through there and not lose the rear. Perhaps we could see something setup-wise. Maybe Rad is running a... or maybe some of the drivers are running wet setups to get a good quality lap in there. No, it's going to rain a little bit in the race, but obviously I would say the optimal strategy would be to run a dry setup. That is what the majority of the race will be, and you don't get points for qualifying. So
you're going to spend at least 2/3, if not closer to 3/4 of the race in dry, so you want to get as much speed as possible there and just kind of deal with it at the end. Do remember that we have a little bit of a time
Oh, right.
issue.
So Rad was able to set a lap. He will be able to set his lap. Gaziag takes away provisional pole from his teammate, Radical Aardvark. Now, through that middle sector, we'll see what he's able to do, and he is backed off. So he must have invalidated or something. Atmosphere off the track there a little bit, and it looks like as Atmosphere up into 4th position, SoCal getting held up behind Eric and having to go off track to avoid him there. Chewy finishing his lap, so it looks like Gaziag will be your pole sitter for the Tier 3. Is this the final race?
It is.
It is. And Eric spins out there on the racing line. Beautiful move from him. Happens to the best of us in Brazil, especially in the wet. And
a lot of people parked up on the grass here.
Yeah. Yeah, so everybody is retired. Refrax, the championship winner, is in 3rd position with Rad up into 2nd. Brilliant qualifying from him and Ghazi, respectively. For Racing Point, is the Constructors still able to be won by anybody, or does AlphaTauri have it?
Ooh, that is a very good question.
I can look it up, actually, because it'll make your screen black. Let's see. Tier 3 standings. Yeah, no. It's AlphaTauri has 306, and the next closest is Red Bull with 158. So AlphaTauri has won the Constructors, and Refrax is the Drivers' Champion. So congratulations to them. But could still be a good result for the Racing Point boys, and let's see what they can do. So
never
yeah,
give up.
that is
never surrender.
Never surrender. Many of you might see or missing a familiar face of Cappy. He did get his first win last week in Monza, I believe, or I don't know if it was taken away on penalties, but unfortunately he's not racing with us tonight, which is a shame. We'd love to see him out here. He's a very entertaining driver and he's very fast. But yeah, he's not racing with us tonight. And so Gaziag on pole, Radical 600ths behind him, and Refrax 4/10ths. And Atmosphere just about math but like 800ths off of Refrax, and SoCal not far behind him. I'm just really curious for the tires. So
Who's
it'll
going to
be
start
really
on what?
interesting.
We have a lot of drivers we normally see at the very top, such as Easton and Juan and Peach, that definitely have some speed that are more towards the bottom here in this rain. So yeah, what tires are they going to start on? Who's going to end up where? And I'm interested to see what happens. I'm looking forward to the penalties and the carnage. I was going to say before, Brazil is one of those tracks that if you're not good at it, it's gonna get you in penalties because there's so much flow turn to turn to turn that
Yeah,
if you're off just a
absolutely.
little bit, you're gonna push wide, or you're gonna cut turn 2, you're gonna push wide at turn 4, and you might have some final turn penalties here as well. But you can see people lap after lap after lap invalidating through the Senna S.
Yeah,
Um, so it could keep
we'll see.
things pretty interesting. We're waiting for
Yeah,
everyone to
and
sync
just
up.
to annoy Kia, I'm going to announce this. But T Kogan, thank you for a tier 1 subscription for 7 months. I believe that is Tommy Kogan, who races in ACC, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
But yeah, so we have Gauzy Egg on. This is quite interesting. Gauzy Egg on softs, Rad on hards, and then Refrax Atmosphere on mediums, SoCal on softs, Drakenwolf on mediums. We have a better mix than I could have ever hoped. We have two people trying to make that hard strategy work. This is going to be really interesting. I don't
I
think
might.
the tier 3 boys have had a wet qualifying here, and it really builds confidence a lot going into the race because your car just feels like it has so much more grip. You feel like
We
a
got
whole new driver.
Rad and Juan starting on the hard, so big brain move or worst decision ever. We'll see what happens. The
Can you
soft
hear me?
runners are going to have to at least pit twice this race. So if they think they are gonna have that, maybe they're gonna try for a soft intermediate.
Yeah. Can you hear me, Righteous?
I can hear you just fine. Can
Okay,
you hear
because you
me?
just repeated what I said like 15 seconds after I said it, so I
Did
just
you
wasn't
say
sure.
Juan?
I did.
Oh,
That's all
I missed
good.
that. I'm sorry.
No,
Anyway,
it doesn't matter. I just wanted to
I
make
like
sure.
to
Yeah.
see my Haas boys
Let me.
both on mediums.
Yeah. What do you think about Quirk and Eric starting on the softs? I would say if you're in the back, just start on the hards. Give yourself the flexibility, and really just try something different strategically. But maybe they feel they have a lot of pace that was lost in the wet, and they just struggle with the wet a little bit, and they really want to get those positions.
Well,
Um,
Gaziega just tearing that lap up coming up the line. His brakes
yeah.
are 5,263 degrees on his front left.
I believe.
65,000 degrees on his right side brakes. So he definitely got everything warmed up pretty well. Reminder,
Creating
please
plasma
remind your
in front
tier
of our
3
eyes.
people and any of the drivers, turn on your telemetry, please.
Yeah.
Makes things a little ridiculous. But it looks, yeah, see, because now we have some guys, their brakes are actually, you know what, this is all screwed up.
All right.
I don't know
Well,
what's
we've got
happening.
Quirk and Eric approaching the grid now in their final grid spots. Gauzy and Rad have been sitting there for a while. And things are about to get very interesting over the next 36 laps here in Resistal.
Lepson, we'll get to you in just a sec.
And it is lights out, but thank you, Codemasters. You really are just the greatest game developer that has ever been created. And it's lights out, and away we go. Gauzia getting a much better start than Radical, probably because of his tires. Atmosphere coming all the way from 4th place up almost into 2nd place. Rad going super late on the brakes, and actually he's going to be able to keep it on the track. Atmosphere getting hit a little bit by Refrax. Drakenwolf goes in front of him, so he's going to be down into 7th position. Further up the field, we've got Drakenwolf and Cricket going wheel to wheel. Drakenwolf just able to keep that position from him on the inside there through turn 2. Refrax looking for a move on Radical. Gauziag checked out at 1.2 seconds with the people behind him on the harder tires. SoCal going to be looking to make up those places as Dragonwolf goes off the track with a little bit of an oversteer correction there through turn 6, able to keep it on the track just a little bit. Atmosphere down into 8th now with Peach behind him on the mediums. Atmosphere goes for a move there by Dragonwolf. Dragonwolf goes off the track a little bit there, forcing Atmosphere as well. Atmosphere down into 11th position. Dragonwolf going to rejoin just a little bit ahead of him. Yeah, Atmosphere, terrible start from him, and Eric goes slowly there, double front locking up, and that's going to have Atmosphere right into the back of him. We've got Quirk trying to get around him on those soft tires. Atmosphere defending on the medium tires, but he's not going to be able to do much here. I think he's going to be a sitting duck here. I think he has some wing damage and quirk, really showing the pace with those soft tires there, already making up a few positions. Peach and Chewy going wheel to wheel there just briefly, and now possibly once again further up the field. Oh, we've got, Refrax and Radical super close together. Radical doesn't really need to hold this move off because he's on the hard tires, so his goal should really be to just not pit and make Refrax pit, as Refrax does get into it, but Radical, the god under the brakes into turn one once again, goes super late, comes back on the track, and he's going to get spun. That was inevitable. That was unfortunate, but yeah, Radical going super late on the brakes, having to kind of stop in the middle of the track there because he went so late on the brakes. Came back, and they tried to go too wide through that second phase of that, and that left Rad spinning there. So now it is Gauzy from Refrax, from SoCal, from Ice 10 making an appearance up into the top 5, to Cricket, to Peach, to Chewy, to Draken. The Williams really not having a great start. The Alpha Tauri's having phenomenal starts, respectively. And Iceton, what is this man up? What is he?
6 positions up.
6 positions.
Peach up 5 positions. Eric up 5, still fighting with atmosphere at the moment. More importantly, both the Ferraris went off turn 1, like right at the beginning of the race. And now Rad has dropped 15 positions due to that issue. Had to let the entire field by, as he now has a ton of time to make up. And it looks as though he doesn't have any damage, so you know, good there. But,
someone goes off there. That's going to be Quirk and Eevee also going off as well. So Radical possibly looking for a double overtake here. We're riding on board with him, but he's going to get sandwiched by Eevee. Eevee actually letting him go. Very respectful racing from the both of them, as Radical now goes down the inside of Quirk. We'll see if Rad's going to be able to stick this under braking here. It's going to be close. Looks like Rad actually taking it easy under braking this time, as we see the Ferrari of Trash Panda and Eric coming to blows a little bit there. Rad able to make the move stick, but Trash Panda, losing the rear there and having to allow Eric past, and now Radical going to make the move past him, Lance Stroll style, but except he uses his IQ and doesn't turn into a corner while Norris is alongside him. Sorry about it. Eric really struggling with those rear tires as well. It looked like Trash Panda and Eric both struggling with that respectively. I hope Radical doesn't go for a move here. He does. He sends it down the inside. That usually only ends one way, but he's forced Eric a little bit wide. Going to make a little bit more contact with him. Eric super late under the braking. Going to lock up heavily, causing Trash Panda to lock up, and he gets spun by his teammate Eevee, whose nose was just in there with such rapid braking like that they really weren't ready for. Yeah, basically just having the noses where it was really hard to avoid them. Eric kind of turning in on Trash Panda there. Eric really struggling under the braking here. I see him locking up every corner, and that's forcing Trash Panda, who really wants to get past him. Eric lifting off in the middle of this. Trash Panda going into the back of him, now sending it down the inside into the final turn. Is this going to pay off? No, it's not, because Eric's just going to come right back at him now on the inside, touch the grass a little bit, but they're going to be wheel to wheel here, and we'll see if he's going to be able to keep this move done. We'll see who can go later on the brakes. Eric, as I mentioned, has been struggling with his brakes. This is like Kimi Räikkönen in Austria 2018. We'll see what he's able to do. Trash Panda with a solid lead here, but Eric on the inside dashes down the brakes, double front lockups, and that is just slowing down everyone behind him so much with these huge lockups from him. But Rad is going to be happy to be clear of that and up in the 12th position now, hunting down Blue Cow. Further up the field, we've got a nice gap here between Cricket and Peach, going for a little bit of battling here, and ditto that for Iceton and SoCal. SoCal on those soft tires, but struggling to Iceton behind on the medium, so Iceton looks like he's got some fierce pace that he is trying to show. If he can get past SoCal on the soft tires, he's in for that means he's got some real pace, and he's in for a podium today if he keeps it on the track. And yeah, so further back, Peach and Cricket obviously as well fighting, and the two Alfa Romeos pretty close to each other. One on softs being Meat Shield, and one on hards being Quan. So good job from both of them to stay clean, and Quan up, what is that, like 5, 6 positions?
Who?
Quan, no, 4 positions, sorry.
Quan,
Meat Shield
sorry.
up
4
5.
positions up, yeah.
Yeah, so a good job from both of them, and yeah,
right.
looks like Peach really gaining on Cricket right now. Is he going to send it down the inside? He is going to send it down the inside. Oh, just a little bit of contact there from Cricket. Iced it into the wall, lost it on his own, and went straight into the barrier there. We just rode on board, and that's a full-blown safety car. Cricket and Peach fighting under the safety car there to see whose position it was. Looks like it was Cricket. Cricket did look ahead there because he was around the outside. Iced in there, unfortunately, just losing the rear end on his own and going straight into the wall on the left side of turn 2. So he lost it under acceleration, probably going over that curb. As we see the safety car coming out now, and that's going to allow the back of the field to get there. Oh, Blue Cow just narrowly avoiding the safety car there as it went back on track and slowed down right in the middle of the race. Fun. I haven't seen the safety car do that before, but Burn Mylander out for blood this afternoon.
Well, just a general reminder, I'm also here. I don't think you breathed that entire thing. So Lepson says soft hard's not a thing. Yeah, it could be a thing, but around Brazil, soft mediums, medium soft, some combination of that, if it's dry only, is plenty easy. But they will be on rain at the end of the race. Bicor calls you a stroll hater.
That's fair. Yeah. I would say anybody who's on the soft should pit for mediums right now, wouldn't you say, right? Just because those mediums could easily go to the end of the race.
Oh
Or
yeah,
at
they should have
least
started on
yeah.
them, but definitely now that they're
Yeah.
6 laps in. So it looks like Gauzier coming in.
So now AlphaTauri's
going
1
on
and
with
2.
those mediums.
Yeah, and Cricket going to be up in the 3rd position with a lapped car in front of him. Not sure how that happened, or am I blind? I am blind. Don't worry about it. That is SoCal Blazer. So Cricket up into 3rd position on those medium tires. I think, yeah, absolutely the right decision to pit right now for those medium tires. But Gauzy down into 10th from the lead. My God. His teammates just behind him. So they started 1-2, and at the safety car on lap 6, they are currently 10 and 11th. But yeah, I think the mediums might have been a little dicey at first. Drakenwolf going onto the grass there. That was interesting. I think the mediums might have been a little dicey getting them to the intermediate period. However, with the safety car, a chance to just get a few free laps on your tires, I think should be fine. SoCal, though, opting to stay out, definitely a mistake from him because the pack is all bunched up now. So whenever he pits, he's going to lose that many more positions than he would have anyways. So that's maybe a missed strategic opportunity from him. But yeah, we've got refracts from SoCal, from Cricket, from Peach, from Draken, from Juan, from Meat, from Atmosphere, from Blue Cal. Gauzy rounds out the top 10. We're really going to see some interesting racing here.
On the map, the safety car is the same color as the Renault. Why don't they make it like white?
It wasn't 2019. It was a different color.
Yeah, it was like this golden color, I think, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Or something bronze or something. I don't know.
almost think it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it was. I don't know, but you're right. It is literally a Renault. But at least they got the nice little decal on them. That's nice.
I wish we could ride on board with the safety car.
Yeah, get a little bit of. Yeah.
Watch how slow it goes through all these corners. So yeah, been quite an interesting start. Let's take a look at the position changes here. Everyone in the top 7 has moved up numerous places on average, and the rest of them kind of collectively have lost positions. Although Blue Cal up 6 positions. Eric going into the pits right now for some reason, going on to some hard tires. What he started on. I think he was on those softs, so it might be a good decision for him. He might want to invest in some on board with refracts, just getting into the grass in their safety car. Might want to just work on some braking practice. He's very aggressive on the brakes. Double locks, don't see a lot of those very often.
Well, if you were riding on board with Eric, you would. Yeah, it looks like he's really struggling with his brakes. I believe this is his first league race. So, credit to him for actually, he looked like he was doing some racing, and it's important to get out there and try. But yeah.
I was going to say that plenty of drivers in the community that are willing to, help him out, give him some pointers, and because we all want to have closer racing. Sure, we all want to win, but at the end of the day, if you're out there by yourself, it's kind of boring sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the safety car will not be in this lap, so the medium runners are going to have an extra lap to just save a little bit of wear off those tires. As, yeah, the safety car passes the pit entrance now. And we go for one more lap under safety car. It's going to be interesting. I do think
for Lepson, I thought you said the soft starters had to pit a minimum of 2 times. Yes, they're going to, because the softs cannot go the full distance because there's going to be rain at the end of the race. You need a minimum of 1 pit stop, right? So you have to use 2 different compounds throughout the race. If you start the race on wet tires, you can finish the race on wet tires if it's wet the whole time. You don't have to pit, whether on intermediates or full wets. The reason I said they'd have to pit 2 times is because if you're on softs and there wasn't a safety car, you're going to have to pit anyway, so no sense in going on the mediums. Just go on the softs again, the better performing tires, and then eventually when the rain comes, you switch over to the the rain tires.
Yeah, so as far as we understand it from the forecast, they will need to go on to intermediate tires. So that's a pit stop everybody needs to make. And so for most people, except for those starting on the hards, it seems, unless they have damage, it's a guarantee that they will just be making one stop, and that'll be from the hard tire to the intermediate tires. The rest of the people probably will have to stop once more. Safety cars in this lap, though, and we'll see if the medium runners, if that took enough wear off them, as Refrax backs the pack up now. Through this final turn. Oh, and we've got some collisions there with Drakenwolf and Juan. Drakenwolf into the back of Peach, but it looks like it was minor enough that the game didn't pick it up somehow, which is good. You love to see it because that shouldn't be a 5-second penalty. But here we go. Refrac's getting a little bit of temperature into his tires, going very slowly here. When is he going to take off, and is SoCal going to be able to predict it and get in front of him? No, Refrac's going mid-weave like Lewis Hamilton. Drakenwolf picks up a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. I don't know what that is, but oh my gosh, look at how far back Drakenwolf is. He has compromised the rest of the field. Peach now up the field, going on the inside of Cricket. Peach. Oh no, Cricket. Wow, that was unfortunate. Almost 3 wide into turn 1. Cricket able to keep it on track though after a little bit of contact with Peach. Looked like he turned in on him a little bit. I hope he doesn't have any wing damage, but it's possible he does. Peach and SoCal all basically keeping positions except Peach able to get past Cricket. Juan able to get past Draken here, or sorry, they're wheel to wheel there as Juan does a Vettel and tries to push him to the inside of the track. Draken gonna go super late on the brakes and swerve down the inside and return to the racing line and keep that position on Juan. Meat shield about quite a few seconds back from them, or a second back from them, sorry. Yeah, so Refrax once again checked out in the lead, 1.8 seconds. Peach close, and Cricket very close. Oh no, and who's that we've got down? Blue Cow spun out through that high-speed turn. It looks like his tires just weren't quite warm enough, or he got in an incident. I'm not entirely sure, but Radical also being sent down to 15th, so yeah, I'm assuming that was an incident. Hopefully he doesn't have any wing damage, but it looks like he might be missing a left end plate. Yeah, Rad missing a left end plate. That is that's unfortunate for him. Further up the field here, we've got Gauzy Egg, Atmosphere, and Meat Shield. I'm riding on board with Gauzy Egg here, and we'll see what he's able to do, or what Atmosphere is able to do here in this 3-way battle. We've got oh my gosh!
Meat Shield going wide in the kink and just gaining traction straight into the wall.
He just ate it. Gauzy Egg down the inside now into turn 1, and able to keep that. We've still got sorry. We've still got a yellow flag in sector 3 as Meat Shield trying to recover here and go into the pits, but Atmosphere, Gauzy Egg looks like he's gone for him. And up the field a little bit here, Peach able to pull away from Cricket Sushi now, so Cricket Sushi just holding on to that 4th position instead of fighting for 3rd at the moment, but we'll see what they're able to do. In the wet conditions, of course, it's really going to mix it up, and we saw the Gauzy. Oh, who's that? That's Drakenwolf locking up and going off the track here. Hopefully he doesn't return too dangerously. He does send it back down the inside of Juan and pushes him off the track there. Juan into the grass, but he's going to keep going. They're pushing wheel to wheel through the penultimate turn here, if you want to call it that. Drakenwolf on the outside. Oh my, wow. And Juan off the track there, getting shoved almost all the way into the wall. Very dirty racing from Draken there, but I have to assume he didn't see him there because of his MFD. That's kind of right in the spot where you can't really see that arrow, but that's going to cost Juan a position to EV and possibly even Chewy as EV gets past him now. Chewy behind him lurking with his overtake on. DRS, of course, not going to be enabled until they cross the line here. But Juan coming back at him, maybe he had more energy, and we'll see here from riding on board with Chewy what Juan could do. Juan goes late on the brakes, Chewy goes later on the brakes, but snags a tire on the grass, and that's just going to drag him all the way onto the grass, and he's going to lose the position to EV Trash Panda as well. Wow, that interesting safety car restart, and SoCal able to stay within a second, though, almost, of Refrax, the Peach falling back from them, and Cricket Sushi staying at just about a second of him, and then, of course, Drakenwolf, who had that off track and had that fighting with Juan, is going to cost him quite a bit of time.
Thankfully, they're on reduced damage here, because we got the tail end of that Meat Shield incident, and if that was real life, the entire front end of that car would be destroyed right now. He just took off to the left as if he was just coming across the track from outside and just flew into that wall. That was quite intense. Unfortunate to see that. He must have just pushed real wide and caught that curve right before the DRS line. But he is now in the back.
Gauzy Egg, yeah, he is. And Gauzy Egg looking for a move on Draken, using overtake, using DRS. We'll see what he can do as we come across the line. Gauzy Egg is behind, but as we cross the line and go into turn 1 under braking, they're about even. Oh no, Gauzy Egg going a little bit late on the brakes, and Draken just kind of turning in on him like he wasn't there. and that kind of hit his front axle, and just like Sebastian Vettel, whenever his car get touched, he kind of spun there and lost it. But now Atmosphere are going to be going for a move on him. Doesn't know where to go, and Atmosphere straight into the wall. Oh my goodness. Drakenwolf kind of sitting in the middle of the track. Atmosphere tries to go to the inside there. Drakenwolf covers off the inside quite late, quite rapid. And that forced Atmosphere to take avoiding action and put himself in the wall. That was just an overreaction from Atmosphere there. Somehow doesn't have any damage, but he destroyed that polystyrene board like it owed him money. So, yeah, not sure what that was. And Rad going onto the soft tires, so in 14th position, pitting, maybe counting on another safety car or something to catch him back up, because that seems like a pit stop. Oh, right, he had wing damage. My mistake. Yeah, he had to make that pit stop, unfortunately, for him.
That incident with Rad, or Blue Cow, rather.
And we've got Cricket and Peach fighting now. Cricket behind him using his overtake and going to engage the DRS here, or open the drag reduction system, but be a little bit far away here. It looks like he you can see him here, Cricket with 65% energy and Peach with 18%, but Peach was down to 6% on that straight. So he's struggling to manage his energy, and it looks like Cricket's doing a phenomenal job. So now we'll see down on this straight when Peach is going to be practically out of energy. Maybe Cricket is just biding his time with another lap, making Peach use his energy while he can just use DRS to close up a little bit, as he's now within 0.5 of him. Yeah, him and Peach, I think we're going to see some great battling from them for the rest of it. And now round 2 for Atmosphere and Drakenwolf. Drakenwolf taking a shallow line through there. Atmosphere kind of looking for a switchback now on the power using his overtake, but I don't think he's going to be able to get past, and I really hope he doesn't go for a move here, because it really usually only ends one way. But Drakenwolf does lead in the space. Is he going to Lewis Hamilton it? No, he is not. So clean racing from them. Let's go back on board with Cricket and Peach. Sorry, I'm jumping around like a spastic monkey, but I just see the gaps here. But Peach getting a much better exit out of the penultimate corner. We'll see what he can do through the final corner. That's the one that really matters here, as Cricket able to gain a lot of ground under braking. Does look like he gets a better exit. Now he's going to be using his overtake. He's really closing in on Peach. Peach refusing to use his overtake. Now engages his overtake, but it might be too late, as Cricket is close with the slipstream and opens up the drag reduction system. As we cross the line, Peach is in front. Cricket going to go to the inside here, and he's going to send it down the inside. Peach around the outside here, trying to hold that position. Cricket really turning in quite shallow to the inside to make sure that he's careful. Peach taking a really shallow line, and almost looks like he stamped on the brakes there, because he just had such a shallow line. He didn't want to lose the car, so he wasn't accelerating at all. Cricket kind of had a switchback, but Peach's car was blocking the road. Hopefully Cricket didn't pick up any damage, because he just went straight into the back of Peach's car after Peach went super slow.
Front right wing damage there. Nothing too bad. Still has both of his end plates, so he should be okay. But that's some stuff happening with Drakenwolf and Atmosphere and Trash Panda here. They're all very close to each other. Oh, and Juan has caught up as well, so a little four-way battle for 6th happening. Yeah, it's been quite intense so far. Got a couple of fights here. AlphaTauri has just taken this away.
Oh boy, Drakenwolf goes wide there, and now Atmosphere and him are wheel to wheel through the fast section, but Atmosphere lets him go into the final corner as Drakenwolf goes late on the brakes once again, and that's going to compromise his exit a little bit, as Atmosphere is on the inside of him here using his overtake. So is Draken, but Draken's going to run out before Atmosphere does, and of course Atmosphere with the DRS is going to open it, and he's going to get past him before we even pass the line here. He's going to be in front for turn 1. Juan, following the slipstream of Atmosphere, is also going to get past Drakenwolf. Juan thought about maybe sending it down the inside. Drakenwolf under the brakes, comes back around the outside of Juan there. Beautiful braking from him. Going to take the inside line there and put the power down. He's going to lose the position to Atmosphere, but he's going to get the position on Juan, who then spins out for good measure on the exit there, going into the grass. So that's unfortunate. You hate to see it. Cricket, Sushi, and Peach going super wheel to wheel there, if that's even a thing. I don't know why my vocabulary decided to just go to a 3rd grade level there, but it did. And Gauzy is caught up to the Cricket, Sushi, and Peach battle. I believe there was a yellow flag for them, because Peach now lost 4.8 seconds to SoCal, so I believe they went slow, and that's what allowed Gauzy to catch up so quickly. And we'll see if Gauzy can clear these 2 cars, or if he's going to be fighting with these guys for the rest of the race, because it looks like Cricket and Peach are so close on pace that they're going to be fighting for the rest of the race. We'll see what Gauzy can do. Yeah, Gauzy definitely really close to Cricket, but Cricket not actually doing a great job with his energy anymore, with Peach having the most of all 3 of them. Cricket, though, going to have DRS. So is Gauzy. Gauzy looking for a move, but because of the DRS from Cricket, he's not going to be able to do much. Uses all of his energy. He is at 1% here, under braking. Cricket almost into the back of Peach, which is actually going to allow Gauzy to go around the outside. Cricket having to slow down, not wanting to understeer out wide and hit Gauzy there, being very respectful and giving Gauzy the position, essentially, as Gauzy now opens up the DRS on Peach. Is he going to be able to make the move here? Definitely not, but he might be able to queue it up through this middle sector and have it ready by the final turn. We'll see what he's able to do.
Rad looking to make a move on Eric here down the F straight. He's got the DRS already and very low on energy, but is really looking to make up some lost positions as he gets by Eric very cleanly before turn 1, so no drama there.
Oh, and we almost saw that Merc of Quirk. Oh, that rhymes. Lost the rear there, just trying to put the power down through turn 3, or the third turn on that little chicane complex. But now, as we arrive at the penultimate turn here, Gauzy had 5/10 off righteous. Do you think he's going to be able to make this move before we cross the line, or is he going to go for it into turn 1? Peach getting a great exit, though. Oh, Gauzy losing it. Engaging the overtake as he's putting his foot down, which I think kind of just caught him out a little bit there. Loses the rear tires and swerved just a bit left there, almost into the grass, but able to catch it. But that cost him some time. Thankfully for him, it didn't cost him the DRS, and he will try to gain back on Peach. Once again, as SoCal goes into the pits after a 16-lap stint on those softs, I'm thinking you were right, Righteous. He should have gone onto the softs again instead of these mediums. Just go soft intermediates if he was able to do 16 laps on them with full fuel.
Yeah, should have pit earlier probably for extra softs if you're going to make that call, but you know, let's see how it plays out. Yeah, Peach definitely got a lot better traction coming to that final quarter, so now Gauzy's got a lot to make up. He's used a ton of energy. Peach still sitting pretty low with about 30% overall, but Gauzy doing everything he can to
Gauzy just,
make up
so
that
much
time that he
faster
lost.
through that middle sector, though. Yeah, it was a combination, I think, of Peach getting a really good exit that Gauzy would have struggled anyways, but losing the rear there cost him about a second. But he was able to make up so much through this middle sector here, and as we arrive at the penultimate turn, for the 17th time there, lost track, that's my bad. We'll see what he's able to do. As Peach once again getting the better exit. I think that's somewhat because of the dirty air. It is kind of a high downforce corner as you're trying to get your car turned in and put the power down, but it doesn't look like it's going to cause Gauzy any issues as he opens up the DRS. And as we come across the line here, is Peach going to be in front? Oh yeah, just by a little bit, but under braking, Gauzy is ahead and on the inside. Looks like an easy move done for Gauzy. Goes a little bit later on the brakes than he needed to, just to ensure that he had that move and not let Peach get a switchback. But I don't think Peach was looking for that switchback anyways. But now with DRS, is he going to be able to fight him back as Gauzy is out of energy? Is Peach going to send this down the inside? I think it would be fairly uncharacteristic of him if he did, and he wasn't close enough anyways. But a good, clean fight from these two. That's what we love to see. That's really what we're aspiring to here in ARC. And these two proud members are doing us. They should be happy of the achievements that they have achieved.
Yeah, they're going to spend a lot of time going back and forth, one using all of their energy while the other one conserves. And I think we're going to see this play out for quite a bit. Both on medium tires, although Gauzy does have slightly newer tires. So
yeah, I think he's got a lot more pace than Peach. To be completely honest, I think I don't think him and Peach are going to be fighting. I think it's going to be Cricket and Peach, but Cricket I think must have spun somewhere or just lost the rear a little bit there because he's now 2.9 seconds off the Peach, and that's the closest gap right now is going to be Quirk and Eric going through the middle sector there. Sorry, actually, Blue Cow and Drakenwolf going past Mar-a-Lago into Ferradura, and yeah, looks like they're going to hold off there.
And
Quirk,
it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Gets sideways into the wall, resets to track. His telemetry is off, but he has lost his left end plate, so I'm not quite sure what that looks like for him. But yeah, during all of that, Draken and EV500 both went into the pits as well. Crash Panda picking up a 3-second penalty. So we've seen some pit stops from everybody. Only 4 drivers yet to pit. Atmosphere and Cricket switches, as well as the Peach and Refrax. So I think we're going to see them in the top 4 come rain time, which it's still looking pretty sunny out there, so I don't know if we can get something in the chat from one of the race engineers if we have any idea when Jeff thinks the rain's going to come. We'll probably still have a good 10 laps or so.
Sorry to interrupt you here, but SoCal on those fresh medium tires is now fighting with Drakenwolf and or Chewy, sorry. And we'll see if he's going to be able to make this move as we come through the final turn now. Just so much more grip you can see there from SoCal. And as he's putting down the power now, he's pretty close. He's going to open up the DRS here. And is he going to be able to get past him into turn 1? Drakenwolf, first person I think I've seen defend to the inside here, but I think SoCal's just going to be too far ahead. Yeah, and he just returns to the racing line there. That was already his position as they crossed the line there. Impressive driving.
Chewy gets on the grass during his braking zone, so he's losing out a ton of time as they approach second DRS here. He will have it, but he's not going to catch him in the next one. So he's going to have to put a lot of time through sector 2. He wants to catch back up. That grass definitely hit him pretty hard there.
Yeah, he's done that, I think, every time I've ridden on board with him.
Again.
Oh, must have had wing damage or something. Yeah, 9-lap stint on the soft tires. Not terrible, though. But yeah, he's getting a new wing put on there, so took some damage somewhere as Drakenwolf and Juan go wheel-to-wheel here into turn 1. Juan around the outside, going to be able to get the move done there. And Drakenwolf not able to keep his car under control. Looks like he's just understeering like crazy. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. I don't know who that was for. Looks like Cricket Sushi spun. Cricket Sushi spun after being 4 seconds off the Peach, is now down in 6th position, 1.4 seconds off his teammate. The Peach enters the pits after 20 laps on the medium tires, so if he doesn't think he can make it and he wants to get the most out of those soft tires, maybe that's the right call. I don't know what Jeff is saying about the weather.
Gypsy did say 10 minutes as per Jeff, the weatherman of all weathermen.
And that he is. As Chewy actually able to stay a lot closer to SoCal than I would have thought for 15-lap old hards to 3-lap old mediums. But doing a really good job from him. Cricket Sushi getting a new wing. Oh, so he must have gone into the wall for good measure. Pits, though, and puts on softs. If you had to pit for soft tires, now's not the worst time, as you're going to start entering those changeable conditions, get the most out of them, and then switch to the inters. So all in all, not as bad as it could have been. He's going to come out in, I believe, 8th position. He's going to be pretty close with EV, but I think he should have 8th pretty comfortably here, and can start chasing down the Peach, who pit not because of wing damage, I believe just pitting to pit, but I could be mistaken.
We're looking at refraction these 21-lap mediums at 55-ish% on the front, and he's got quite uneven tire wear from his right to left rears, but average about just over 50% as well. So he's still got a few more laps. He might want to take it easy just a little bit if he really wants to make sure. I mean, they're not going to pop or anything, so he doesn't have to worry about that. But
an atmosphere into the pits.
Loose.
Atmosphere into the pits here as Gazieg has made his way up to 2nd position, 1 position off where he started, but that just shows the superiority of the starting on the medium strategy. Unless Refrax has to pit. If Refrax pits this lap, then Gazieg honestly might have been the plate. Although, actually, I'll take that back again because Refrax will have such fresh tires for the rain. But only time will tell. Not worth making guesses here with such limited information, as we have a yellow flag in sector 2. I'm not sure who that is for.
It looks like that was Meat Shield getting a little loose in front of Refrax as he was coming by. Good thing ghosting is enabled because he was coming right across the track.
Oh boy. Juan just getting past Quirk there, by nature of the DRS, able to be way ahead into turn 1 there. But does go a little bit late on the brakes, which we've seen a lot of people going, as Rad and Meat Shield are wheel-to-wheel here into turn 1, or they were. Rad clearly ahead now and has the position all to himself, as we have 13 laps remaining in this race. If the first 13 are anything... Oh boy, if the last 13 are anything like the first 23, I think we're in for a treat here, especially with the rain. So I wouldn't mind a safety car right now, bunching the field back up before the rain. That would make things very interesting. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and we'll see if Refrax is able to stay out till the wet period. As you mentioned, unreduced damage, so the tires aren't going to pop. I think if you're Refrax, you just stay out.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Definitely make them last. Nothing to worry about there. You're already 8 seconds ahead. He's going to have to pit just like you are. But Godsky was faster on the wets than Refrax was, so might have to take that into account.
By a pretty large margin.
Turn 4 picks up a penalty. There's Blue Cow now back up into 11th, fighting for 12th. Fighting for 10th with Eric. Getting by him through turn 1 here. I don't know if Eric just conceded. Blue Cow lets him back by as he kind of picks up a possibly an illegal overtake for extending the track.
But now him and Juan are wheel-to-wheel here because he had to give up so much time, and Juan sends it down the inside with Blue Cow kind of blocked by Eric a little bit on the apex if he wanted to power down. So Blue Cow going to have to concede that position to Juan as well. So looks like he got an illegal overtake and it cost him 2 positions.
I don't know about that 10-minute rain call. It still looks mighty blue skies out there.
Eric locking up into the braking zone after Ferradura and having Blue Cow go straight into the back of him there, and I think that cost Blue Cow one of his end plates. It did. That's unfortunate as Eric goes off the track once again. And Refrax just lapping 13th position. Rad right here. Atmosphere picks up a 3-second penalty. And yeah, Eric and Blue Cow still kind of fighting, but I think Blue Cow, only reason he doesn't have the pace right now is because he's missing his front wing, but we'll see what happens. Eric doing a good job, though, to stay in 11th position and make those hard tires work for the last 15 laps. So good job from him in his first league race. And we'll see if Blue Cow, is he going to, yeah, he's impatient. He goes, sends it down the inside here. Eric turns in like he's not there, but thankfully, for some reason, Blue Cow ghosts. I don't know why that was, but, and he still ghosted for me as he goes, oh, because the leader's right behind him. Well, thank God for Refrax. He just saved Blue Cow a spin. But Blue Cow not looking like he wants to get out of the way, and neither does Eric. And that's already cost him, it looks like, through that turn, almost 6/10 to Gauzy. Gauzy in that clean air was at 8 seconds and is now at 7.3 seconds, 7.4, sorry. And yeah, Eric not getting out of the way, probably doesn't know what a blue flag is, but this is hard to watch. You hate to see it. But Refrax actually able to get through there and gain time on him. Yeah.
As Rad uses this opportunity to get by Blue Cow, working his way back up into a points position again. The top of the field is now spread out quite a bit. This battle for 11th is what we got. Eric pushing wide again. Please do not come over. Ooh,
oh boy.
Over right into,
oh boy, Quirk retired in Sector 1 somewhere. Or maybe he was in the pits. Can you see? Was it in the pits?
No, looks like he is in to turn 3 right now.
Well, looks like there will be no safety car. I'm riding on board with Quan here to see if we can spot the car. Yeah, there he is in the wall on the exit of turn 3 there. Out wide on the right. I don't think I've ever seen somebody go out there. Might get another look on red. No, his car has already disappeared. You hate to see it. That's a weird spot. I imagine he just lost the rear and wasn't able to control it and went straight into the wall, and that's you hate to see it. You really hate to see it.
I don't know. Maybe his engineer told him to just retire the car. Just retire the car.
Seems unlikely, but it's possible.
Well, now we wait on the rain. It is getting
yeah.
a little bit more cloudy out there. It's still pretty bright, although it's darkening up slightly. Not sure where these clouds are coming from because they don't look like they're moving. So I guess they're just appearing out of nowhere. I don't know if that's how weather works in Brazil, or I guess F1 probably doesn't have too much of a weather system coded in, so the clouds just kind of like grow. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but well, I think honestly, I think if you do it in a 100% race, it is more gradual, but because 50, it does just condense time by 50%. But yeah, the clouds do look like they're getting a lot more gray and a lot more noticeable, and I think we will start to see. My prediction is we will see the first drops of rain, not this time, but the next time, if we ride on board with Refrax crossing the line. I think there will be rain.
Well, Chipsy is saying Jeff says a few laps. So if the rain, if it comes on pretty hard, it could make things interesting. If it stays pretty light for quite a while, we could see pitting for intermediates with 4 laps left to go.
Yeah, in Brazil, if DRS gets disabled, even 1 lap on inters, I think trying to go through these turns and get the power down, I think you can make up 20 seconds, honestly. That middle sector is just going to be a nightmare if DRS is disabled, especially everybody being on worn tires. Gauzy Egg reducing the gap down to 6.4 seconds now. He is gaining on him, but Gauzy... Oh, right, Gauzy pit on lap 6 for the first safety car. Gauzy not on that much fresher of tires. Only 6 laps. I didn't realize that. I was thinking he had 16.
Blue Cow was looking to get by Meatshield. Meatshield got a little loose, so let Blue Cow by, and Dragonwolf quickly caught up to them. It looks like he's trying to go for a move here.
Rear-ended Meatshield. No, yeah, Drake just rear-ended Meatshield, and Meatshield spins back across the track. You hate to see it. But that's just unfortunate. That reminds me to speak about we've got the Haas boys in 7th and 8th. A good performance from them. Seems like the only team consistently up there. Sorry, the AlphaTauri's, Refrax, and SoCal both doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
both in the top 4.
They're fine. We see a lot of these drivers. I mean, throughout the course of Tier 3 this season, we've seen so many of these drivers be at the top. We've seen Blue Cow and Heisen way at the top, and I believe Austria, and, but Haas being very consistent with each other. hope we don't see the traditional end of race mistake that cost them 4 or 5 positions. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed for them this time.
All right, so Radical Aardvark overtaking the leader Refrax into turn 1 and overtaking him through the ghost instead of actually trying to go down the inside there. He just went through him, which is not generally how we like to do things here in ARC, but that is what Rad has opted for, and Refrax is going to give it right back to him. And the fact that Refrax is able to get back past him means that Rad needs to lift off right now, because clearly he's not fast enough to keep the move going. But my guess was that the rain will fall. Riding on board with Refrax here, this is giving me a migraine.
Yeah, I'm on with Rad, and I think his concern is I don't want to let up because then EV500 will get by me.
Yeah, and I get that, but I think you know, you made your move into turn 1, and if Refrax is able to get packed past you, you need to accept that. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. That's just me. But I think as Refrax crosses the line here, we will see the rain start to fall. That is my prediction, and I very well could be wrong. But let's see. See here, we've got a little bit of God rays there coming through the sky. That looks kind of cool, actually. And I think Rad is about to get passed once again by Refrax, who is using his overtake. He does not want to deal with this guy. And unfortunately, he's going to have to. As, yeah, this is unfortunate. But there we go. Rad, I think, letting him by here. And, yeah, there we go. So, fair play to Rad. He tried his move. I do think he should have given up on the one before. But EV... I want to point out what a stellar performance he's having today. He's really struggled to be consistent, I think, and definitely struggled to be in the points. He's unfortunately had a few spins most races, but this race he's doing a fantastic job. He finds himself in a points position, and I hope he can keep it, and I hope he can get a few more positions.
Lepson has finished his rain dance, so hopefully we see something happen. We got 6 laps left, and I haven't seen anything.
Neither have I, but I think it's gonna start pretty soon.
Okay, so now the rain comes, but it doesn't build up enough to warrant a pit stop. It's gonna get interesting.
Now.
EV500 trying to get back by Refrax, using that DRS.
Which, again, I don't have an issue with trying to overtake once, but now if Refrax catches him back, you just can't keep fighting him. And the rain has started to fall. I think you're going to have to go into intermediates.
I see some.
I think it's going to be right on the fringe, but I think you're going to have to go into intermediates if you're Refrax or anyone for that matter. I think not this lap. And see, that is one thing that a lot of Tier 3, a lot of rather somewhat inexperienced drivers make a mistake of, is they try to take their tires to the wet. And they're so worn that the second they see, you know, the rain or the next lap, they just pit because they need to get off their tires, and they go on the intermediates, and that loses them a ton of time. But so hopefully nobody makes that mistake, Chip, so you better not let Refrax make that mistake. Show a little patience here, boys. I say that in an aggressive tone like anyone did pit, and they didn't. So we'll see. But yeah, Rad obviously kind of in a sticky position because if he wants to fight EV, he's going to have to re-overtake re-overtake Refrax. Yeah, see, I have nothing wrong with the back marker overtaking the leader if you can actually stay in front. But if the leader overtakes you again, you just got to give up the position. It's just not fair. You got to give it some time until you can make the move.
Then you make the argument that ghosting exists for a reason, and he's trying to fight with EV for a points position. And, you know, it gets kind of complicated, and really what should have happened is both drivers should have pulled up. Should have put off.
But Evie was able to make the move and actually run away from him.
Well, I think that's only because Refrax got by Evie and Rad didn't let him by. I think both Evie and Rad should have just let Refrax by and continued their battle. But because they both are continuing to just drive as if he's not even there.
Rad let Refrax go, but Evie didn't because he was still behind him. I still don't see anything unfair with that.
Rad loose, and he is...
Meat shield into the wall. Rad also into the wall. Double trouble. Rad retires. Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Wonder if we'll get...
No safety car.
Not even a VSC.
No. You hate to see it. Gauzy right on the limit here, but 3.8 behind Refrax. If they don't pit for inters, this is going to be really interesting. If they do pit for inters, this will be really interesting. So we'll see if Gauzy can do it, because 6-lap pressure tires in this changeover period should be a pretty substantial difference, honestly. Oh, Peach! I think we've got our first really close gap here. Peach and Chewy for 5th and 6th position on those fresh softs. Refrax goes into the pits. Hopefully not for inters.
Well, Chewy gets loose and Peach just gets right on by him. Chewy gets off into the grass, so.
Refrax going on to the inters. This is a lap too early.
Trash Panda also looks like he's going on.
Yeah, it's a lap too early, boys. I get you feel like you need to with your tire wear, but I think this is a lap too early. Hopefully I'm wrong. But I think let's just ride on board with Refrax here and see if he's able to do anything here. But I don't think I think he's really going to struggle. His DRS hasn't been disabled, and I don't know. Let's see. It does look like he's pretty comfortable out there, so I very well could be wrong. Yeah, it looks like I am wrong. It looks like he's getting good traction out of there. So good call from Refrax and Chipsy.
Yellow flag sector 1 looks like, sorry, the Rhino of Eric getting a little slow through there.
Yeah, so the gap is 17.6 seconds to Gauzy. Now it's 17.7, 17.8. Yeah, okay, maybe the track wasn't ready for inters because he should be substantially faster if it is. And he's just about the same, if not just around the same. I think Gauzy's going to try to stay out. We'll see if DRS is disabled. That's the real question. Somebody just picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Gauzy is coming into the pits. Yeah, that's the right call. He just saw that Refrax made up almost a second on him.
Ooh, but he gets 5 seconds.
Boys,
that
come
could be a nail.
Yeah, I think that's going to be... I think that takes away his chances of the race win if Refrax is able to keep it on the track. Refrax definitely making the right decision to pit there because although DRS still isn't enabled this lap. Maybe it was 1 lap too early. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He's still in the lead. He made the right decision because he kept his lead. That's all that matters. So fair play to him. But it just seems like normally you want to be the lap before DRS is disabled. So unless I miss DRS being disabled, which is very possible, I think maybe
I don't remember seeing it. It could have popped up.
Yeah. Quirk now coming out of the inters. Clearly it's time. Everybody's on inters, so I'm just wrong. So yeah, 100%. Maybe DRS was disabled. But Refrax looking in a pretty strong position to win this. Gauzy would have to gain 10 seconds on him to win this, as he has a 5-second penalty.
Flags everywhere, everyone going slow, having trouble in the rain here. Chad is saying that Refrax had a 91% right front tire before he pitted, so...
Yeah,
I do have my widgets up on a different screen, but I'm not always looking over there during the proceedings. So
Gauzy, though, as we said, was much faster in the wet, but in 2 laps it seems like a pretty tall order to make.
Especially
now
with that 5-second
seconds.
penalty.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to make 9 seconds on him.
Tire check. Pretty much everyone on inters except Blue Cow still on softs.
I respect that, man. I respect him a lot.
Refrax, the only one stopper in the race.
DRS had to have been disabled, no? Does it say in race direction?
I don't remember saying it. It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be. It doesn't say it in the race direction. That'd be interesting. But I don't know if it would anyways, obviously. But yeah, we had to have missed that. So Gauzy, though, making up time on him. Had he not had that 5-second penalty, nice. Still. So, yeah. SoCal, though, making the soft-medium strategy work. So,
yeah,
fair play to him.
Gained 1 position overall. Trash Panda moving up 6, as well as the Peach.
Yeah. I believe this will be, and again, it's the wet, anything can happen, but I believe this will be Trash Panda's 2nd time on the podium, or 3rd?
You're going to have to check.
I will check right now. Let's see, what do we got here?
No gap so far.
Sorry.
2 more while Refrax is coming up to the final lap right now.
Yeah. I believe he's lapped the majority of the field, if I'm not... Oh, no, because he had to pit. He unlapped him. Well, this will be Trash Panda's 3rd time on the podium, and this will be Refrax's whatever time on the podium, basically. However many races there are. So
11th minus because of the DNF. I think he had a DNF, didn't he?
Probably, yeah. I don't really remember. Yes, I think he did. Right. But Gauzy Egg, great drive from him as well. Great drive from pretty much everybody in the top 10. We saw some incidents, but everybody drove pretty cleanly with a few exceptions, but that's that's in every race that happens. So overall, very clean racing from these guys as Refrax laps Eric right here, and as we come into the penultimate corner here, we can ride on board with our drivers champion, our constructors champion here, as we look back and think of what a beautiful season this Tier 3 season has been. The first Tier 3 season in Apollo Racing Club, we've basically shuffled through every commentator we have available because of scheduling, and it started with Tact and Fife, then Tact and Kia, then Tact and me, then Righteous and Tact, then Righteous and Kia, and then Righteous and me. And as Refrax crosses the line, he is the champion. He takes yet another win here in Brazil. Amazing drive from him. Amazing drive from Gauzy. Amazing drive from Trash. Trash kind of flying under the radar here, but to be able to keep it consistent in the podium positions, especially in the wet, is no small task. Congratulations to him for a very well-deserved podium. And ditto that for SoCal and Peach, but for a well-deserved top 5. Thank you, everybody, for joining us during this Tier 3 seasons. It's been quite special to watch these drivers who are just, a lot of them just getting into league racing, really progress and find kind of their footing and find their own styles of racing and really build their understanding of it. And so, yeah, it's been a pleasure to watch the season, to commentate this season, and to be a part of it has been something really special. So thank you guys to everyone who's raced, and thank you to everyone who's watched, and to the admins, Tact, Fife, Gypsy, and yourself, Righteous, who have made this possible for all of us. It's been a very special experience, and hopefully we get to do this again sometime. As Juan spins across the grass in celebration, doing a little celebratory donut there, shouldn't affect his 9th place.
Everyone behind him is lapped down, so it's just him. But yeah, Tier 3 has been quite enjoyable. Lots of good battles. Seeing lots of drivers improve. Seeing some come and go. But for the next season, we are most likely going to be condensing some things down due to scheduling and drivers doing different things or moving around, as well as changing days. So that is to come in the future. But AlphaTauri securing.
Wow, triplets on the podium. You never thought you'd see this day. 20 drivers in the world, and 3 of them were born on the same day.
That is amazing.
The same mother. It's beautiful. And shout out to EV, able to pick up points today in 10th position. Congratulations to him. It's been a very interesting season, and yeah.
So not as many penalties as I thought today. Looks like a lot of speeding in the pit lane, but not too many on track, which is quite impressive. So we make a run through the incidents. There should be some reports incoming for various things throughout this race. But Gypsy is saying driver of the day for EV 500.
Yeah, EV first points. I'll give it to him. Yeah, I think that was a really good job from him.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, no, I mean he stuck with it this whole season and finished in the points, finished strong. Congratulations to him. Very well driven today.
Fastest lap to Rad, DNFing in 15th place. Congrats. On the fastest lap, not the DNF. Sorry to see that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's always a bad time. Well, this has been great.
It has. It really has.
I have thoroughly enjoyed my time here this evening. You're on like another level tonight. Been very.
Don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but I'll take it.
No, you've just been. I think there were about a few 5-minute runs there where I'm not sure if you breathed. I don't even know if you're human.
I'm not. I am Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna get any interviews. Is there anyone in particular you'd like to talk to?
I think some things are better left unsaid.
Well, I've been me. You've been you.
It's been real.
It's been very real. Thanks everybody that did watch and participated in the chat. Tell your friends. We have more than just F1 one day a week. We have lots of stuff here.
3 days a week, although you might not know it because we haven't streamed it. Lazy commentators, what can you do?
We got a big
but,
ACC season coming
yeah,
up.
and
Reorganizing
iRacing
F1.
and Assetto Corsa, yeah.
We got other stuff we don't stream. We got a Assetto Corsa League doing lots of different mods. We got karting and Formula E and a bunch of other one-offs. I don't know who's watching, so
Even I stopped watching.
you got to keep those views through the whole thing.
So sorry.
I'm gonna get some bots running. All right, good night.
Admits that on